Right now in today's climate, I think that camera talk is kind of being abused, right? And what I mean by that is like because like we have new cameras that's come out that's shooting raw and shooting ProRes raw and shooting this type of stuff internally. But what people fail to realize that cameras are like calculators. You put garbage in it, you're gonna get garbage out. So no matter how great your sensor is, if you can't see what you're lighting, it doesn't matter. To be honest, most DPs that I've talked to would sit there and tell me, like, I could achieve this look with any camera, but yet we still have so many filmmakers talking about things that really doesn't matter. Whether you can shoot red raw, ProRes raw, okay, like that's cool and all, but what does my actual image look like, right? What am I giving my sensor to capture? In today's video, we're gonna talk about what I give my sensor to capture, how that has elevated, like that's a good way to put that, how it has elevated with the use of certain lights. And one light in particular we're talking about today is the Nanlite Pavotube 15X. So before we get started, yes, Nanlite sent me the light, but they ain't paying me, say nothing about it. I'm just letting y'all know how I use it in my everyday production. Now that we got that out the way, let's get to it. So here we go. You know, what's funny is I was so thirsty to get the longer 4-foot tubes, which I have. I had a 4-foot joints, but the 2-footers, right? Let me see if I can get this in frame. Bow. These right here, like these, I love them because they give me more versatility than what my 4-foot tubes give me. Number one, the fact that they are RGB. So it depends if you want this to kind of be used as an accent light, which I have used it before. You want to kind of get like a splash of color, just like maybe it's like a little pocket somewhere, but you don't want to have like one of those big old tubes. This comes in handy. The versatility of using this as a hair light. Awesome. The versatility because it's so light to be able to put this up using magnets, again, fire, right? So in some of these shots that you're seeing, like you will see kind of some of the ways that I've used this light. So like, for example, in this one video that we're looking at right now, this is me doing a commercial shoot for my personal trainer. She has a massage business as well, but she said she really wanted it dark. Now, granted, I told her, I'm like, hey, listen, I still got to light it, but she didn't want to like too lit. So what we did was we used the Nanlite Pavotubes, and the Nanlite 15X with the barn doors was my main key light for the entire thing. Because one, it was light to boom over a C-stand using a cheetah stand, and then two, there's really no two. I just like the fact that it was light enough to use it over a C-stand. Like being able to hold this over somebody without me feeling like, or being in fear that it will fall. Now granted, I did have a sandbag on it, but this was like perfect enough. Now granted, I probably could have used a 14X. I mean, I probably could have used the 30X to kind of like get it longer to maybe hit the other subject a little bit more, but I'm fine with the way it is. Like sometimes like, yo, I could have did it the technical way, but I like it this way and that's okay. But as you're sitting here looking at some of the images, this is actually going to lead me into one of my other key things. What I like about this light is the quality of light that you get from this. And I think this is in largely due to parts of the diffusion of this light. With this light having this type of diffusion versus the other diffusion that you probably see in original 30Cs, to me, the diffusion is a much more quality, much more control, much more soft. And it just has a very pleasing image on the skin itself. So like right now here, you probably can't see much. Just take it down. No, it's probably not doing much. Let's see it over here. So over here, as you can see, it's just like a nice clean feel light. So if I want to have this off by frame a little bit, this gives me enough output to kind of fill in the shadows. See what I'm saying? It gives me enough output to fill in the shadows while using just this one light right here. But this is at 100%. So, but like, just think about that. It's still kind of competing with the sun, but you know, it's doing its job. Like you can clearly see that. And so while using on this project, obviously I didn't have to use it at full brightness, but it has enough kick in this small tube to still get you such a quality of light, such a small package, a versatile package that you don't have to worry about anything else, right? So even if you want to use this light as maybe like you're walking and you want to kind of use it as a field light or as like as a bounce light, somebody's walking in front of your subject, or if you want to kind of like to use it to light up small places, like this produces some very clean light. And again, kind of like talking about the small places, that leads us into the third thing, which I love about this light, is the fact of how compact it is. Now, before we get into the compactness, I do want to say this. If you're not following me at IG, that's your loss. But if you want to follow me at IG and learn some things and kind of see more BTS about what I'm doing in these projects, I have a lot of cool projects coming up. I'm shooting my first feature film this January, so you definitely don't want to miss that. Got a couple of sponsors for that, Nanlite actually being one of them. So follow me at Brookssmedia with 2 S's. If you want to add the S, you ain't spelling it right. Like I was just touching on before, the compactness of this light is also what kind of like gives like what I love about it, because again, being able to use magnets and being how small it is, I don't have to worry about one, it being too heavy on something, two, me not being able to kind of fit somewhere. I mean, like prime example, look at this kitchen shot. Now, granted, I did want to have these higher up on this kitchen shot, but it did the job. It did the job. Like sometimes I think people need to get away from such like everything being so perfect, because perfect leads to procrastination, to you not doing something. Something you gotta try some stuff out and be like, all right, the shit look good, it works. And I think that's what we need to kind of focus on. What looks good to you? We so busy worried about everything else that sometimes we won't have fun and be creative with a scene just because we worry about how somebody else like may not like it. But if you like it or your client likes it, that's all that matters. Mainly you. And to me, right here, like having these lights, so like in this kitchen here, we also had like another Pavotube tucked off in the corner, adding some more fill light. But this light here gave me what I was looking for, and it wasn't too heavy to hold up. Like we just used them on, what do you call it? It's like Scotch guard tape. But like the thing that you use like to hang up picture frames on the wall, I'll put the picture up somewhere. But we just use that to stick under the cabinets, and it gave that light that I was looking for. Guess I probably wish it was like a little bit deeper, or the kitchen's like a little bit higher, so you won't kind of see this part. But again, nobody's looking at, like when you look at this shot, you're like, damn, this is a nice clean shot. That's all that matters. It's a nice clean shot. That's all that matters. If you all are in the market for looking for a nice versatile light that's RGB, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's bicolor, it's RGB WW, at first I thought I was gonna be using an RGB like that, but I actually use an RGB quite a bit. I'm actually sinking down in this chair, I'm noticing now. There we go, I didn't realize how much I was sinking. I gotta get another chair. But if you all are looking for a light that's compact, versatile, and gives clean light, and is actually like mad affordable, Nanlite 15X. It's upside down. Nanlite 15X, look no further. If you all have any more questions about how I use this light and what other practical uses I use in it, man, comment down below. If you have this light, let me know some other creative ways that you've used this light so I can maybe pick it up on my set and learn something from y'all. It's your boy Sean B, and I'm out, man. Deuces.